asleep. Tonight the only thing we want to do is gone. So let us creep down one tonight, where one of us will weep. I love above, so what am I after? I'm at an age when air is all I am. I grew beneath the bricks behind the hardware store, hard corn, and watched it fail to thrive. Took sticky sumac branches, watched them turn to magic wands. My face was a giant eye. From dinner to fried eggs, my head was fun. My world was a big fat toy, a flaming hoop held in my affections. Mother butchered patch and sleeve. Father napped in his work van, dreaming of Bruno Sammartino, a silver dollar in his fist. In the shadow of the Masonic Lodge, my sister would fly from my dinner feet like a ball of twine. Let's stroll around the park by Route 8 and set a spell in the bushes. Let's make the admonitions of our elders our rationale. One man's cheerless jibe will prove our gibberish of passion. Let us drive the gloom to pieces in our mad rush home. All the next day we'll whisper in the phone, abetted by the winking operator. Let's not worship the refrigerator or any other transparently mechanical mate. Let's maintain a casual mania, meditate upon an action-packed evening, plan for ways to be pleasant and relaxing, entertaining. We'll disregard the hours and the days of ours. Hold the other of us tight till we whimper like schnauzers, winkle like fat dolls. We'll go down Route 1 in our holding on to one another. Though life itself may someday grow to be obscured in situation, navigated by necessity only, overseen by our own suffocating recollections, for now the minutes we snatch away will seem perplexing afternoons. Let's munch on synthetic potato chips and tell ourselves the stories of our lives and our relationships. While listening once again to the radio will be the only thing we have on. We'll pretend to be our own best friends and then labor broken phrases through defective spindles and weave an argument. We'll part and reconcile, but never consider ending our affair. We'll take each other to the supermarket, array ourselves in clothing of a subtle weave, hire others to act us out, diligently follow their affairs. Eventually we'll let our inclinations. They'll push us to it, they'll show us how to do it, and we will make it run. And let us show them mercy. Let us show them mercy. Let them show us mercy when we fail. Our errors will give them something to forgive. I'd have gone down Route 2 if I was able. And if I had been able, I would not have been afraid. Every Monday I bury the weekend. Friday collect soda bottles. I lived on the north side of a rock. Saturdays I'd be sent out to see to myself. I'd go alone to the precarious forest, surmounting the railroad tracks. Knock from trees horse chestnuts to throw at the engineer. Sundays, roll wet tires down the hill at traffic with the older boys on the far side of the gully. Carry me back to old ambition. Getting knocked out in traffic, knocked out of the highest trees. Fishing for advice on a calamitous shore of competition, I have no time for metaphor or the transitory veritas. Working to the strains of an alienation, I slowly fall apart in the progressive shade. All manners of ills go unredressed from day to day, never undistressed. Alone I sink into unrestful rest. The devil has come to the city on the hill. Reverberations of the crisis go forgotten for the art of selling to the almost sold. Every day there are more and more and more. That's the key, more and more. Heads do turn for a mystique, but not for ambiguity. Our days are full of antic static. Palaces abrim with memorabilia shape our lives. But how many more castles can we spit from our dying wombs? The market is always here. 1 million millionaires charged with power are chased with a great fervor. They passionately enjoy their primacy. We don't ask questions, we just give them what they demand, keeping nothing within imaginable limits, living off the fate of the land. Even everything is not enough. There when the place was first settled were endless trees, so when the countryside first was cleared of wood and brush, the rain as quickly as it fell hurried into miles of chaotic riverside where first were founded communities. In the remaining woods, the houses were erected in a day or two for the price of refreshment from felled timber. Praise God. Ancestral grounds were violated. The governor sent magistrates to burn those cabins, but quickly as they were burned, the valley recrudesced with homesteads on those hunting grounds. Oaks were the proudest towers. Elms housed elusive wilderness of buttonwood, hickory, maple, fine groves were cathedrals in their clearings. Grand to look upon, the river receded from a mighty crook, on down to rapids and journeys treacherous made by bark canoes and flat bateaus. Insinuating themselves out for miles, communities eventually built themselves around where the railroads had got to and beyond, to the crab apples down by the vineyard, hard by the Gookert orchards, where the farmers would chase us down. We've dreamed of America, we've dreamed of this land, a loving shadow nestled in our arms, and when we wake, we only know some dragon dream this slumber. We never want to hear about our dimming, unprepared. We just go numb and try to hear only what we've listened to before. The dark to which the rivers tend conceals the river's end. Let emptiness be our guide and fill us with its mercies on our ride. We'll take it to extremes where empty ways are emptied in our dreams. To what throbbing Eden have we come? This sentience stings. Darkness is not enough. Oh, the rivers flow in the darkness. Darkness covers everything, even the rivers. The shouting images of time converge, calling for nothing, that is everything. The more we went to one. And when we talk, we're everything we say, but even we have to stop at nothing. Stop at nothing but to have. In an eternity so timeless, you could set God to it. Let us breeze down Route 3, where we can pretend to be our parents, where a living must be charmed or carved in a dance of death, in a press which parts the lovers in a crowd, where things eternal best exist in fable, or so they say, where when the big boss gathers near and says he doesn't like your shirking, you gather his roll, Lord, where you ask the dirty chore your salary assuages, and fall in love with a pretty fluff and play the devil, and you tie the knot and love is gone forever, and all your dreams begin with slowly melting sights disrupted by alarm, where when driving home on the freeway, you pull yourself into your alley to the roar of screaming bats, fussing in time to the resonating ting of the icy ball man. You walk into the house to studio wrestling, your wife wearing a babushka, cream corn and pork chops, and as we lurch down Route 3 past the industrial parks and the satellite dishes, let us recall this place where joy begins to weigh, facades beguile, chronicles the loss of all the world by all the wise. I will be by myself for a while. Not to the fullest will I live life, but only by a fraction. I will beatify my internal bedlam, divest myself of associations, and now and again sputter like Vesuvius. I will burden my ego with flashy attachments and dominate the road all the way up foggy Route 9. I will not be as capricious as a sigh. I will watch out my window. The circulating winds of God condense the air to faith. Watch civilization coagulate. I will no longer fear and rack my brains in the palace of trivia. I will never tune my rhythms to the sun and moon. The seasons will race around the year without me. Renunciation will serve as my rationale. I will long to see the fabulous established. The flesh is brittle, the feet is sly. What if facts and fidelity are fictitious? Novelty, still another rite, trotted out like clockwork. I will never turn back to Rivertown. I will dread no seasons in that ravine. But eventually my zeal, worn nub thin, will rebel. Someday, while waiting for the sunny sky that never sets on Route 9, on the way to Rivertown, I'll smell the flesh of the poisoned sumac sky, sense the pain of flesh-erasing day, and the lies so white behind the fabled wall. So many strange measures cry down their stress. Always we are asked in a seamless glance to appraise the void, ignore our own impending obsolescence. And it's always the same old bust and join no matter what. Is pain to feel too much, poisoned in emotions nova? By Route 10 you'd wander by the mill, down by the frozen 35th Street Bridge, and see a rat scamper across the frosted bank. When oil was in the hills, long after the demise of Appleseed, Rivertown became a walled city. As the rats and raccoons that can rake through your trash and break your arm together continue to stamp back to the prison of the pointy-headed sky, so I leave Rivertown to those who love to make it run. We will go down Route 11 together. Legend has it there's a sleepy little shop sells every kind of replica. I'll find mine, slow and steady, bloated, not threatening, no hunt unless asked, no young Turk breathing down your gates, ineffective as a cat's paw, unsubtle, though capable of love, he waters his resolve with ice-cold grief, kid safe, machine washable, he does his chores. We will court our life by pointing to that dog star, then pretend to our left the moon is wearing the whiskers of a cat, so let us both get on Route 11, it's only a little out of the way. We can walk in the woods again and dodge the fallen logs and laugh and stumble, and for once, as the nothingness winks down at us, we will let sleeping gods lie. Let's make faces at expectation, peculation, bumble, fumble, cling to a plank and float down Route 5 along the river swollen with mercury where the worms all make cement while we sleep. Where the earth is a solid choir centered in elusive dance. Let's visit the planetarium and follow our fair star, entice verities, grow fat in the winds of fashion, flatter high, fetter low, butcher the heifer, seat a grizzly at the helm. Shall we put on furniture? Porch our hopes on a hillock? Meditate in the mouth of the hearth? Let us play the host or be thought hostile and have faith, cumulate the sky, ignore inapropos idols, imply wisdom in invisible things, gnaw the marrow of righteousness, minister to the madness of magicians. Let our actions abhor our transience. Let us adore a mystery wrapped in myth. We might make a prophet of it, top bill to creation, where the sunsets of the deity rumble, and the moon cracks the darkness in a white alto. Should we dare to venture into the valley of the serpent, let us skirt with circumspection the places where the devil's sky cries loudest. Nor should we smash our heads against the sun and harvest reality in our darkness and twitch with the vast. No yawn of wisdom should wrinkle our youth. And as man is limited by wit, so God by the infinite. Let us go down Route 12 and imagine the plastic demons that adorn the chessboard of the Hobby Center. One piece in particular, one plaid devil with his aptitude for adapting to the arduous, his avocation to analyze the arena, his capacity for capitulating to the concept of career as cathedral. Let us examine this doll, our bodies dangling from the mirror we fix for distance as we race down Route 6, trace our illustrious ancestors who assumed assurance by milking adversity to their advantage. Let's filch tradition. Let's take the best scary thing that comes our way and dispose of it in endless commemoration. We'll discover things are sad, though not as sad as we had hoped. We'll watch through bones aching of the everyday, and agreeable disposition become a desperate custom. We'll find the rose that grows in the stem of the brain has thorns as well as worms. We'll stop at the roadside zoo, exhibit a hyena man. Give him a cage, he wants a kennel. Give him a kennel and income his kin, all without an income. Grist for the mill, the millionaire in the sea of exigency. Over there, the ascetic, phlegmatic owl, obscure and pallid. Observe his oblique operation, operating on the assumption of obligation, ensures his missions parenthetic. His crabbed hand relates the pomp of fellow dust. When superannuated, they're given their freedom to revolve around a scruple as a sort of shuffling skeleton in the tatters of their strut. Their minds are as eyes from a thicket, where they abide hard by the camps of turnkeys. We will wear the uniform which will inform us of our war and find fashion to fit the chaos. One of us will look into the glass we fix for distance and see the animal, bluer than a bandana, eyes the size of aluminum pennies, walking as though it cast no shadow. And one of us will race back up Route 6. One of us will leave the roadside zoo. Black Devil quickly overtook the rest, aggregated allies, adherents soon were assimilated. With his affinity for the infinitely artificial, he savored incomprehensible codicils and constructed an artificial currency based on him. None of us can describe our way, but only the road we are on. Today, the harvest of our discord dominates every mirage. The range of our adamant defense is our only strategy. Protective coloration, buried rage, nature accommodated in a wire cage, a kind of paradise which has no feet and bootless must remain in ceaseless flight. Older types of paradise are démodé. The hamburger jockeys have got a planet buster, but it's so seldom do we get to the core core of that matter, drilled in remorse, rehearsed in southern death. This dull mantra in the extreme foreground is invisible to our apprehension, and every quotidian faceted affair, the same discord is anchored there. The hardest man grows both more modern and more slow. You don't have to walk in the rain anymore. You need a yellow cab. For the first time, we may discover what misery our mischief causes. But from whose austerity should we accept an autograph? Impulse fades to second thought. Our faults have never been so magnified and made so unattractive. Opportunism awakes in the dedicated, produces masters. Untruth becomes untrue. Composing commotion is seen as a hat trick, and an old one at that. And amid all this, the conscious are confined. Converts converge. Committed consumers catty-corner consult on how to consume. Principles irreparably destroyed typify our sagacity. So often we deny our virtue, so long as it's embodied in anybody else. Posterity esteems the enterprising, encouraging endeavors they endorse and emphasize, who think at the abyss that nothing ventured is nothing gained, and yawn back in the thick for every opportunity's an added challenge. In their sleep they know the word for adding on in every tongue. Why do we break hearts all over the world? Uncivilized circumferences precipitously ignite, even as I speak, but no, speak nothing but good of the deed. Decrees of defiance historically reinforce calamity. Deference guarantees the heaven of the slave, eternal gratification. Circular reasoning justifies our ceremonies, but our convergence is ever skewed to the most convenient. Crowds will follow clowns. Spectacles lay 'em in the aisles. We come running from all directions to watch a scrap. So pick a fight, America, and let us watch. Our counterfeit sagacity breeds no reverence. Why do we go on breaking hearts? Does our every inclination to do right diverge into crisis in the shadow of eclipse, as passion divides the best laid lips? Festivals of fertility were fine until you grew flabby, grew out of your positive elation to find yourself alone, and you decided to compress your ability essentially to rate credit, and you discovered that didn't really work, but you kept waiting and were kept waiting by some ill-at-ease foreboding that every gesture engendered danger. That sweet young thing at work served one purpose, your own self-esteem, and that owl man, that winking owl on a package of potato chips, and that laughing jackal of your cartoon dreams were looking down at you as you swallowed your saw and said to her, "Let us travel down Route 7, the lucky route, my dear, and let us return another year. We'll visit the Sunset Grill and view the Strip and never lose our grip." Because you found yourself regulated, self-insipid. You found yourself slipping. Because we can always conceive and carry through some confinement on past disasters. Or is it because you are tired of dancing in the silly boy lounge, sick of hearing your house smell like cabbage, of having no rhythm? Did you see her well-regulated existence underappreciated? Did she want to bend down and rescue a trapped animal? In some vague way, did she want to offer herself up, Earth Mother? Speak, but speak nothing but good of the deed, even done from duty and not from love. If we are doomed to follow certain roads, let's pick our way very carefully down Route 13. Somewhere in some ultimate inroad of barrenness maybe contains some harmony of endless unawareness, and someday the blackest memory of desire may part the knotted curtain's tangled day. Let us help along our fleshy echo's flight from bones of reason. Let us bring to blind commotion unseen despair, where eminence, useful as a broken toy, fires fretful gewgaws and muse in silence. Let us go down to the shore and watch the lights along the rivers, incomprehensible as whispers, where we can imagine those who come from hunger, starved for peace, go to silence, where we can see the dog that snapped at a bone's reflection, where we can live to learn, to turn the earth, to find the things of dark, beloved, in the light. And one plaid devil, his mythology was money, Other demons were coming to take it. The agents of his foes were bound to houses of obligation. At length he gave away his plunder, and those who perceived his ploy inevitably proclaimed him God-born. Thus, let us look and laugh and wonder then that even a puppet could shed a puppeteer.